As architects, we perceive the world as a world full of potential. But in a system driven by financial forces, we might overlook the value of the already existing. Right now, everything is up for demolition. What does building new promise us? Modernization, efficiency, new aesthetics, or planning freedom? What if renovation could promise us the very same, or even more?
My name is Nils. I'm an architect and founder of Elephant, architectural firm in the center of Amsterdam. You think it's nice to start from scratch, to have like all the possibilities, but we notice exactly the other way around. So with transformation, you see that the municipality or the developer, or they don't know exactly what are the possibilities. So therefore you have, I think as an architect, much more freedom and you need much more creativity to come up with something new.
Where restrictions lie, innovation emerges. Potential that exists all over Europe. Amsterdam. Not far from the city center, a former bank building came to new life. An area of 77,000 square meters is being developed. 6 buildings demolished, 1 building transformed. De Voortuinen. The renovation enabled a transition in typology from an office to a residential building.
So it's a former bank building from the 70s. It was a really inefficient building with a huge central core. It was really hard to transform it.
Challenging, but still easier than building new. The transformation begins by removing the facade and windows. Non-load-bearing structures are removed. Why replace what's already there? By repurposing the building core, the circulation transitioned from internal to external. This improvement allowed for the creation of more square meters, maximizing the usable space within the structure from 64 to 90%. The building was extended upwards by 2 additional stories, with a new facade and the addition of surrounding balconies of 2.8 meters depth. Stairs and structural planters were integrated into the exterior.
Well, the most important for us was to have an apartment where you could also sit outside with a big balcony. We were not specifically looking for a transformation apartment. We just liked the design and the location.
With the design choices that were made, a cost reduction of approximately 20% compared to when building new was achieved. The building cost per square meter could therefore be reduced from 16 to 1,200 euros. Despite lower costs, the renovated apartments are marketed for 9,000 euros per square meter, targeting affluent buyers and reflecting a significant profit margin. De Voortuinen is a perfect example for the present economic chain. How did we end up here? The developer maximizes profits, architects see higher earnings, and residents enjoy comfort. However, the system's benefits only include the ones who can afford it. Within the ecology of construction, who constitutes the economic chain? It's the real estate investors, financing bodies, regulators, architects, contractors, and potential users. How does the economic chain work? Facing planetary limits, escalating material prices lead to higher construction expenses, which in turn lead to higher revenues for every stakeholder. How do we break up this current model of space production? A shift is needed to move away from the purely economic to also social and ecological values. What if property owners were provided incentives, such as tax reductions, to enable more people to live in the same space? What if architects' fees were determined by the number of residents living inside a building, rather than being based on construction costs, thereby maximizing living space and addressing social challenges like housing shortages, segregation, and gentrification? What could De Voortuinen possibly have looked like? By finding pragmatic solutions that combine economic construction with social responsibility, we can ensure that access to housing can benefit the wider population.
What I like with transformations, especially conversion from offices to housing, that you also gonna rethink about typology. And what you notice is that working and living becomes more fluid. I think this, if you're sort of flexible and doesn't think too much in stereotypes of housing, then a lot is possible. Yeah.
This is not only a matter of a single building, it also affects entire cities and should be applied on a broader scale. So where do you stand? House Europe,